This is Gigi Sabat, and you're listening to the Walk With Me podcast. My guest today is Jose. Welcome to the show.
Hello, how are you? How are you? Thank you for having me.
Fantastic. It's such an honor to have you here today, Jose. Now, why don't you start off by telling us a little bit more about you and where are you from, Jose?
Well, I'm born in Venezuela. I'm Venezuelan born. I live here in the U.S. 15 years ago. I came here because I began my career in the oil and gas, and I was transferred from the PDVSA, the oil and gas company of Venezuela, to here to the U.S.-based affiliated at Citgo Petroleum. So I completed my career working in Citgo Petroleum. So I live in Houston.
Awesome. Now, what inspired you to become a leadership and a resilience coach?
Well, because I went through a situation that maybe your audience is not aware. I did my career in leadership positions, but in 2017, I went through a situation that I became an international hostage. And I was in a travel to Venezuela to a business trip, and we got caught in the middle of the political tension that was going in that moment. And that situation, long story short, for me was 5 years on that situation. So I became a resilient guy, a survivor guy. And what I did is I combined the two experiences. When I came back in October 2022, 15 months ago, I decided to pivot my career and become a leadership and resilience coach. Because I discovered that first, the two things are important, are connected. Leadership and resilience are so connected. A leader cannot be, a leader is not a resilient guy. And that's the way I decided to pivot this and convert in a coaching program that I call Life Pills for the Survivor Guy, where I explain to the business owner, entrepreneur, and CEO how they can unleash that unbreakable spirit they have inside and become great leaders and resilient leaders.
I love it. Now, tell us a little bit more about the experience that you mentioned there. Why was it such a challenge for you, Jose?
Well, you know, I after being analyzing the situation we went through, we discovered that many things that we did during our activity are things that a leader has to do in their business. For example, when you're facing any situation in your life and put it in your business, the first thing you have to do is be calm and focus in the situation. See in a cool way the situation. Being calm and focused and being positive, having a positive mindset is key in any leader if really wants to be successful in any business. This is part of the thing we did. Connect with the people. You know, a leader sometimes can create that shield and disconnect with their people. You have to get surrounded with people, good people, and knowing your strengths and your weakness, because you're going to have people backing you. That's the same thing we did in our situation. Taking care of your well-being, you know, your mental, physical health. We did that, and this is something that a leader has to do for him and for his employees. And connect with his spirituality, because one of the things that people tend to forget, that we have the connection with the superior power. And any leader that really wants to be successful, really successful, has to have that connection, because you can be rich, but maybe you're not prosperous and you're not have abundance because you're not connected with God. So all these things that we did during our captivity are part of the things that I included in my coaching program that I teach today.
That's very true. Now, what if someone has a fear of getting out of their comfort zone? What message do you have for that particular individual?
The people have to think that you always will have that force inside you to overcome any situation in your life. Fears are because you are in your comfort zone. You don't want to change your comfort zone. But really, when you discover that you can make things that are beyond sometimes things that you believe, that fear will disappear. You will accept any challenge in your life.
Very true. Now, what does the word faith mean to you, Jose?
For me, faith is everything, because the way I survived my situation was having faith. At some point, I didn't know even if I was going to return. This morning, I was talking with a guy. We were talking, and he said, "Hey, Jose, you're a miracle. You came back as a miracle, and that's true because I didn't know how I was going to solve my situation and when I was going to come back. But I did decide to have faith because the faith is believing in the thing that you don't see. So I didn't knew when I was going to come, but at some point I had so much faith that I decided to rely that in God, and I'm back. So it was a miracle because I have faith and hope.
I love it. Thank you, Jose. Now, can you tell us a little bit more about your book?
Well, my book is exactly talking about this thing that today I'm talking today is my story. But the way I craft my story is because for the audience that doesn't know, when we were in our captive situation, the first year was really dark. But after the pressure, because this was a very high politic thing between the U.S. government and the Venezuelan government, and we were caught in the crossfire of that situation. So when the negotiation began to be very, very tense. At some point, they allow us to have some kind of some concessions, and one of them was allow us to bring the food. I begin to smuggle letters in the trash can that I was returning with the food. So I did that during 3 years, smuggling letters with my wife. That she was here in Houston, and that we kept doing that back and forth every 2 3 days during 3 years, and it became like 1,000 letters that we did. So when I came back in October 2022, I found a pile of letters that she has compiled, and that became my book. My book became the memoir of the moment that I was feeling in there, the pain, the suffering, but the evolution. The evolution, when I begin to have more faith, I became more resilient. I begin to have more hope because I was praying, I was reading the Bible. So all those things I reflected in my book. I call like a legacy, how you can overcome things in your life. So my book, the name is From Hero to Villain, my true story of the Citgo 6. Why the title? Because when I went through the situation, I was considered like a true hero because I did a very long career in PDVSA with a lot of challenges, and internally the people in PDVSA said that I was a kind of a hero. And when we were caught in the middle of this political thing, the Venezuelan government treated us as we were the worst of the villains. They put us charged of a spy, treason to the country, and other charges. So we became the true villain. So that's why I decided, okay, I was a hero, now I became a villain. And the story of the Citgo 6, because we were 6 guys. I was the leader of the 6 guys, but we were 6 guys. And 6 guys, we worked with this company, Citgo Petroleum, and for some reason, the press put us that name. It became like a brand. We became the Citgo 6. You can find it all over Google Arcade. So that's my story. That's my story, and that's my legacy.
Absolutely amazing. And thanks for sharing that with us today, Jose. Now, Jose, what is your best advice to the audience for walking with purpose and living a life of happiness?
Well, today, I can tell any person that's hearing this that I was a guy in the past that I was not aware about the small things in life. Today, when I awake and I see my dogs sleeping beside me in the bed, and then going with them to walk and receive a fresh air, and those tiny things in life. Today, I enjoy it. So that makes your life have more purpose, has more fulfillment. Sometimes we overwhelm ourselves. Sometimes we think that the situations that are going are overwhelming us. But when you begin to be more focused in the situation, you can see that there are things that maybe you're looking at bigger than they really are. So that's my advice to the people. Be more aware that things in life can be better for you, and that your problems are not the worst. There are people that are having even worse problems than you. So you have to be graceful with God that you are here. So that's my my recommendation to the audience.
I love it. Be grateful to God that you are here. Very powerful statement, Jose. Thanks for
Yeah.
sharing that with us. Now, Jose, where can the audience find you?
Well, I have several places, but typically you go to my webpage that is joseconnect.com, or my LinkedIn that you are looking there. My LinkedIn has all my coaching and all my speaking. I'm in my speaking because I became a speaker too. I have a speech called From Captivity to Freedom, Embracing Resilience with the Power of the Love, the Faith, and the Hope. And I have another speech that is called the 4 Tools to Become an Unbreakable Leader. So those 2 speeches that I have been doing in several audiences, and I talk about faith and hope, you can find in my link. I'm today in several speaking bureaus that you can hire me there, or you can contract my coaching program there. In my LinkedIn, you can find everything.
I love it. Thank you so much, Jose. And ladies and gentlemen, make sure to check out Jose on all of his social media platforms, and you can find that information at the link below. Thanks again, Jose. God bless you and be safe, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.